I want to take Robert in Pennsylvania, who says he's got a problem. He can't buy a gun. Hi, Robert.
Hello, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for calling
in. Yeah,
All
appreciate
right.
that.
Did you have something else?
What's up, Robert? What, do you have something you're going to say?
This is where you
this
share
this
with
where
us
you share.
why you called.
Well,
Here, I'll tell you what. Hang on, Robert. Hang on.
I hear you guys. I listen to you guys every day. And I just wanted to say that there's a lot of guys out there that have made mistakes in their past. I took a plea deal years ago to get on a felony DUI. And years later now, I'm 37 years old, got 2 small children, great wife. We have our own little small business here in Pennsylvania. And a guy like me can't buy a gun now, even though I can vote. I got all my rights restored, except I can't get that one right back. And I'm also a veteran, too. And it just aggravates me when I hear a lot of good people out there can't buy firearms, or even like me, who wants to do the right thing, protect their children, live a good, honest life, even though I made a mistake years ago when I was
How many years ago? I mean, if it's like
this
administration, it goes all the way back to like September.
When was it?
Just a few months past September, yeah.
Yeah. What year?
2006.
Okay. When were you in the military?
I was 94 when I graduated high school, and I got out in 1998. I'm a little nervous.
Okay, don't worry.
And what was the situation? What was the problem?
I got a DUI.
A DUI. A DUI.
I spun my tires in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And no, there was nothing other than my tires that were the victim besides me.
Wait, that's it? You got a DUI and you spun out in a parking lot, and now you can't own a gun?
Correct.
A DUI obviously is a serious thing. I mean,
well, of course it is, but
yeah.
I didn't realize they could take your gun for that.
Well, any felony, right? I guess when you have a felony,
so is a DUI a felony? One conviction, felony.
At the time, what it was is I had my driver's license suspended for a ticket that I didn't realize that I even had gotten.
Oh, now we're getting to the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. Now we find out about an extra ticket. Well, that changes the whole thing.
How long, Robert, do we have to talk before we start hearing about the dead girl found in the trunk?
Because that's usually the next step.
Right.
Unpaid ticket.
Right. I'm a small business owner. I run a crack house.
Mm-hmm.
I got it, Robert.
Veteran of all those bad things in modern day America. But
so
I just hear while the gun debate's going on across America, obviously a lot of guys like me who are out there that if I wanted to couldn't go out and purchase a gun today, and it just makes it makes me crazy really that so many guys out there, honest guys, serve our country, can't get a basic fundamental right, and they talk about Second Amendment rights not being infringed on. My Second Amendment rights infringed on every day for really a DUI, which I paid my debt to society for.
Yeah, I will tell you that I don't, Robert, I'm not, I'm one of the conservatives, I guess, that believe that if you're a felon, you do get your rights back after you've paid your debt to society and you've gone through a what do you call it, a period afterwards,
parole,
probation, and parole afterwards, that when you get out, you still have to check in with your parole officer for a while and just make sure that you're on the, straight and narrow path. And if you're on the straight and narrow path after a certain period of time, and a reasonable period of time, you should be able to get your life back. That's what jail is for. You pay your debt, you get back on the right path, and if you get back on the right path, you are a citizen back in society.
Child molester, aggravated manslaughter.
No, child molester should never, ever get out of jail, ever.
But if they are...
Well, they shouldn't. Yeah, but if they are, yes. I mean, if that's what the people decide, that, child molesting is, I was raping children and I get out of prison. Well, then that's what society...
Killer? What if you're a killer?
Gun-related crime?
Yeah. I mean, it is tough. We're not trying
torturing you. I'm just saying that there's a tough line, because obviously if you let some crazy person who held a kid at gunpoint and was a child molester, they do 20 years, they come out and, they're out. They paid their debt to society.
What I'm saying is you should not, if you paid your debt to society, if it's 20 years and you come out and you're still crazy, well, that's what the parole officer is for. Sorry, dude, I can't give you that right back. I'm not going to give you that right back.
Yeah, it seems like there's a line there maybe it's in the parole system or maybe it's that, maybe there's some sort of way like that someone who is a rational person can come and make their case just like you would to get out of prison.
Well, I will tell you that the DUI should be on the other side of that line. Once you paid your debt to society, you should be able to be a gun owner after a DUI. But there's certain
it's a weapon. You got
if
into
it's
a car.
gun-related crime.
Why you got into the car? A drunk driver in behind the wheel of a car is just as dangerous as a gun. I can kill probably more people, especially with a limited magazine, by being drunk and going at a high speed down a crowded street. I can kill a lot more people than I can.
He already paid. He paid his debt. And now we move on.
But like you've shown that you have an issue with substances, perhaps, and that you've made this mistake, and perhaps you go and you have a DUI, you get out in a couple of years, then you have another drunken night, and you go and you shoot 20 people. Everyone's going to say, well, they knew he had a problem with alcohol, and they just gave him the gun anyway.
You are not promised security. You are promised liberty and a chance to set yourself straight. And no one's ever promised security. We have to do what we do the best we can, but you're not promised security. And if we err on the listen to people who say they don't want to have the death penalty. If we send one guilty man to the electric chair, is that right? No.
It's not right, but that's.
But is it okay? No,
it's not okay. But I mean, it's
going to happen. Yes, but we do everything we can to ensure that it doesn't. Right?
But yeah, and I guess...
So do you take the rights away from everybody because one of these guys may fool the system, get out and kill somebody else? Do we take the rights away from everybody because of the one guy? No, we're playing the collective thing.
But if the part of the law is if you commit a felony, you do not get a gun, before you commit the felony.
That's a new part of the law.
Well, for people from now on. I mean, it shouldn't be retroactive. I would never advocate a retroactive law.
And when did that law come in and why? It was a racist law. It was a racist law.
That
you'd
lose your
rights. You'd lose your rights, guns, voting, everything else. Those were all racist. Those were all color laws. And I think we should really stand for rights of individuals with temperance, with understanding. I mean, gosh, if you can go and kill somebody and then the Lord will forgive you for that. We don't as a society need to forgive you for that or forget. I think as a society we need to forgive you, but we don't need to forget. But if the Lord will say, hey, you pay your debt to me, we're square. Great. That's for you and the Lord to figure out. But if we have somebody who has a DUI or some other stupid felony like this, or even a murder, and they pay their debt to society and they are honestly trying to change their lives and have demonstrated outside that they've changed their lives, we hold it against them for the rest of their lives.
But you're defining the debt to society as only the prison term.
No, I'm not.
If the part of the debt of society is if you're a child molester, you never move near a school.
Yes.
That's part of the debt.
Yes, right. So you never, right.
So if the part of this debt is you don't get a gun after you commit a felony, that's part of the debt.
And do you think that's reasonable to lose your rights? I don't think that you should ever, if you're a child molester, you ever get out.
Yeah,
I don't think you ever get out. I think
completely agree with you.
Don't live by a school thing is ridiculous.
Yes, I agree.
Just totally ridiculous. So there's common sense. You can't fix everything. The law is unjust, but let's try to make it more just and more freedom for people who actually are trying to live a right life and trying to pay their debt to society.